in the land.
Those are fancy cards. All
They
right.
are. Actually paid for these.
They're guys. They do magic. They are the Magic Guys.
Oh yeah. Winning at Internet Magic.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 98. Oh my god, 98 of the Magic Guys. I'm Josh Lambido. That over there is Doug Kahn, and he's back from the State Fair, from Louisiana, right? Louisiana.
I'm back from there. I made it. I survived. I'm home. I'm in the Magi Cave. What's up?
You're back to where you feel most comfortable to create and be in your lair.
Yeah, I'm back to where it's easy to be soft in this room of magic I've built. My illusion of magic reality.
I mean, over the years, you've really built it out to be. I mean, is it what you imagined back in the day? Like you basically have a magic store in your house where, because you're using all these different items in your videos, and it's just that people don't have to buy them. They view them.
It's
and
all
like them
at
and share
arm's
them.
reach. I'm like in the Willy Wonka of magic.
Yeah, exactly.
Except, yeah.
It's good. It's good. And you'll notice we're missing Jason again. So
he's back working for the Federale doing his cruise ship.
yeah, I can't believe it. So like we were just talking about this, this is our first podcast in like 3 weeks. And it's because all of our schedules have just been insane. Like Doug's been away, which we're going to hear about. Jason, was on the cruise ships before, but then he went to Japan right after that. And then I've been traveling, doing events, and we literally just haven't all been here to do it. It's crazy. And then even trying to make today work, Doug's still decompressing from his time away. And now Jason's gone off again on cruise ships. And so it's just... This time of year particularly is just insane anyway, but...
This is my life 45 minutes ago. I'm in there cooking up some pasta. Josh is like, all right, Doug, you ready to go? And I'm like, not at all. It's tomorrow. No.
Yeah.
And Josh is like, no, it's today in 45 minutes. And I'm like, well, the time changed here too, but let's roll because we're semi-professional in this room.
Yeah, we can make stuff happen. We can bring things together. It's good to see everyone in the chat as well, as always.
Absolutely.
Dooley, he's on tour, so I'm surprised at the World Festival of Magic in New Zealand. So I'm surprised you're able to get on here, bro. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
And Dooley, Bob Possible.
Yeah.
Noah. Howdy.
Scotty P. I like it. And the OGs, basically. The OGs. So I mean, look, is it too early to start this topic? I don't know.
Well, you put it on the thumbnail about what I've been doing. Why don't we start about what have you been doing? Only because I feel like pivoting it that way. Because.
Yeah.
What have you been doing, Josh Norbito? What has your professional life been like?
Since we last talked, I have been able to put up 2 vlogs, which I was super happy about, unrelated to actually working. Felt good. I think seeing Jace get into the spirit of it and doing his vlogs in Japan, I was like, and it just so happened that I just filmed the first content of vlog when I went to Melbourne. I was like, oh yeah, cool. So I quickly edited it and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do another one instead of just maybe waiting another month or so to do one. But man, I guess that's a good point too. Like, in the comments too, what did you guys think of Jason's vlogs? I mean, personally, I thought they were great. I would look forward to sitting down to have breakfast to like watch this 6 minutes of what he's been up to.
I'm like over here. I have the most shame. I haven't watched either of your content in weeks. None of it. Look,
I mean, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But so you haven't seen any of
personal at all. Like the only content I've been watching is how to play Marvel Snap. At the end of the day, at the end of spending 8 hours on the fairgrounds, I'd go back to the hotel room and hide in my mobile game of choice, Marvel Snap, instead of being productive or consuming my friends' content.
I see. So you haven't seen any of Jason's Japan vlogs?
Or anyone's content at all.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. No,
you should You should check it out just
I
to
know
see.
I should. I know it's solid. I know I'd enjoy it.
Okay. Well, there you go. At least you know.
Hey, but I hope no one takes it personal. You're in good company with the rest of the internet. I didn't look at. I tried to watch one movie. I didn't even finish that.
What the reason I bring it up is because he did Casey Neistat's vlog course on his online course he put up, and you can really see it being put into action where he's doing consistent B-roll in between scenes of him actually sitting the camera down to like walk past in the street and that kind of stuff. It's his storytelling has gotten way better anyway, and also he's got the fancy camera and he's using the 360 in some of the like walking scenes, so it looks like someone's
that's where it's going to
filming
shine.
from behind.
That's where it's going to shine the best. The B-roll and
yeah. Bob, look.
Answering the comments.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jason's a beast. Yes, Bob. Didn't play one game of Hearthstone. That's the situation. How about that? Marvel Snap. It's the best game on mobile. Wow. It's Marvel characters in a card game. We love it all.
That's crazy.
Let's all geek out on Marvel Snap instead of talking about Magic tonight. It's cards, so it's semi-related.
I'm going to write it down. Marvel Snap. I'm going to look into it for sure.
Oh, Jesus. These cards are slippery. Oh, they are. These are the double foil cards. They're unusual. They're like double stamp. So you got the regular stamping, then they come and stamp it again. Focus. Let me go down here.
That's just what they look like. They just look blurred in real life.
No, this is the iPhone, old reliable.
Ooh.
So they're double stamped, holographic, but the thing is they're double stamped. So they're a little thicker and they do not handle the same. Like they're a little chunky sometimes, you know? And certainly these are brand new, like hardly used. So they're super slippery. And
were they gifted to you, Doug?
No, I paid for these. I'm like a rube. This is my thing this week. I'm a rube. Look at this coffee cup I got from the thing. Look at this piece of can you see the blur on this? That is not the camera. When I bought this, it was a not blurred mug. And then when I got home, I said, "Oh, I'm a rube." I get it. I'm a rube. But look, I'm wearing the hoodie anyway.
I think you've been learning some new words while you've been away.
Well, you don't know rube?
No.
How can you be a magician and not know what a rube is? It's an Australian thing.
What can I say? So, anyway, in that
you asked for this. You asked for this, brother.
This is what I wanted. The real stuff, you know. I've been doing gigs. I wrote down a couple of notes of interesting things that kind of happened. I did a repeat show for a client from last year. And one of the things they said was they loved you. It was really great. We want to book you again, but it is the same audience. So we're going to need a different show. Is that okay? And I was like, yeah, cool. No worries. And then it was like the week of the event. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do a different stage show. I should really think about this. And what I ended up doing was doing a mixture of a couple of things I knew I didn't do in the show, because I vlogged the event last year. This was kind of cool. I was able to watch my show that I did for them last year and know exactly the things I did. And then I basically did my old show that I used to do before coming up with this stuff that I really like. So I kind of got to go back and do my B show, I guess you'd call it. And
do you feel you need to change a substantial amount of material on even like the first repeat? I would think you could do pretty much the same show, huh?
You would think so, but it was like exactly the same audience that had seen me like 1 year ago.
Yeah.
So I at least wanted to give them different visuals, I guess.
Pardon me for interrupting your story, but do you keep track of that in some form, and if so, how? Like, how do you keep track of a show list of some sort for each show per client?
Look, I have one show that I'm doing now that I'm the most happiest with. So it's always that show. So depending on what year I did for them, I can kind of be like, oh yeah, I wasn't doing this effect yet.
Okay.
Yeah. But for example, like, 5 years ago when I was doing shows, I loved doing, this is something that Colin Cloud put out. a limited PDF thing, and it's a 3-person drawing duplication prediction that's also mixed with like the chair, what's it called, the color chair plot, where it's like they can sit wherever they want, but like you've predicted where they would sit, kind of thing.
Yeah, super
So the
fun.
idea is like I'd have these 3 envelopes, 3 people on stage. They can mix them up and hand them out to whomever they want. They draw a picture onto their envelope. The audience judges how good their drawing is. That's my favorite part. And then when they open the envelope and unfold the paper, it matches, like I've drawn myself the same picture they've just drawn on there. So that's like what the audience sees. And I used to do this for a long time. And then it wasn't until like COVID started coming in that I was like, oh, it's going to be hard to try and get 3 people up on stage. And so I kind of left it. So I was like, okay, there's a few things that I didn't do in the last few years that I can probably bring back again. And the other thing for this show that I really had to change stuff for was because it's in a room that I've worked before, and it's like a long room. And so the audience is to the sides of you, not really in front. And I basically had to do my show from the dance floor. So I did a lot of my show standing on a chair. And then I pulled out, I still have in my cupboard, Anthony Linden's Suit Jacket Escape. And I haven't done that for so long, but I was like, you know what? This is the perfect place. I'm surrounded. I need to be in the middle. I need people to see like a visual they didn't see last year. And it was a lot of fun to bust that out again. It does well as a routine.
I've always thought that would kill on the street. Like that routine, escaping from your suit jacket, it's kind of symbolic as well out there, in my opinion.
You could, yeah, absolutely.
With a tube of cloth, I don't know what you're using for that. Or do you have like a square deal? Is that what it is?
Mine came with it. Mine came with it. There's no metal structure in it, but the material is basically a square with handles. So once the spectators hold their corners and go up, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, see that on the street, 2 spectators holding that thing. Come on, bunch of nonsense going on.
Yeah, I wonder if people do that on the street. I mean, I haven't seen anyone.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah. Well, I've got one if you need one. I've used it once now in the last probably 4 or 5 years. But so it used to be a main bit in my show, because I was like always doing close-up bits and trying to make it play bigger. And then when it first came out, I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. But unfortunately, so did like 5 other people. So it just became way too common here in Brisbane. Too many people were doing it. So I put it in the cupboard, but it was great to bust it out again. And I remember Nick bringing it up on the podcast. And he's written in going, yeah, my routines are in my calendar so I can backtrack what I did prior. That's a great use as well. Nice. Very nice. So anyway, I did that, and it all worked out. It was just kind of fun to do some of these older routines I haven't done in a while. The next thing I did was, I haven't done one of these for a while, but last week I got to do a trade show gig in Sydney. And going there, I was looking forward to the gig, but I also wanted to try and vlog like all the stuff I was doing. Doug, I know my story isn't that funny.
No, I was reading Brendan Dooley's comment. I was working with the straight jacket actually at the fair, but I'm assuming we're in sarcasm mode, and pardon me for laughing at our chatters, but
no laugh.
Not funny. And by the way, if Nick or Dallas is watching this, your act rocks, and that jacket is done excellently with tension and drama. I loved it. 50 feet of chain, and it's like a rock show. I digress. Please continue, Mr. Norbito. Maybe we'll talk more about the fair later, but I'm going to try and avoid it.
We're definitely getting to the fair for sure.
But slowly.
But slowly, that's right. Yeah. So I knew I was going to Sydney to do this trade show gig, and I wanted to film it, but I knew I wouldn't get to film the actual gig I was doing. So I was trying to find drama or interesting things I could film. And that's one of the vlogs I have also put up that you haven't watched, Doug. But some of the friends in the chat have put up.
I'm not the worst friend. I'm here.
No. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm here.
Yeah, you made it. You're definitely in the top 2. All right. Out of you and Jason, you're definitely one of them. So
my attendance record is better, at least anyway.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. If I had $1 every time Jason slept in, I'd have maybe $5, at least $5. Okay. So I'm going to Sydney. I'm vlogging everything. And the first cool thing that happened was I accidentally booked my hotel for the wrong date. So I got there and it's actually not booked for like 2 weeks ahead. So now I need to get a hotel room and they're at like 97% capacity.
Oh, baby. Real world problems.
Oh, yeah. So basically they only had one room left, one style of room left, and it's an additional $200 because it's like a king size room or whatever.
Wow.
And I'm like, damn it, I'm going to have to take this room. So I say yes. I'm like, fine, I'll book this goddamn room. But in Sydney, they have a casino known as the Star, and it was only a 10-minute walk from that hotel. So it's 11 in the morning, and I get the bright idea that, hey, if I go and win $200 right now, then technically this room upgrade is free.
Makes sense to me.
So I start vlogging it. I tell the story. I go into the casino, and they let me in with like my backpack and everything. I was really not prepared to like be dressed to go into the casino, but it's 11 a.m. They'd rather just have people in there, I guess.
Yeah.
So I go in, I sit down to play blackjack. It's a $10 minimum table, and I take in $100. No, I take in $200, but I only play with $100.
Were you filming the blackjack?
No, I didn't film the actual game.
Yeah.
I filmed a little bit inside the casino, like just walking, like just
They
on
frown
my phone.
on that. They frown on that.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so anyway, play blackjack. I'm probably playing for like, I'm enjoying myself. I'm probably playing for like an hour, and I'm slowly building it up. And I get to, I've gone over, under, this and that, moved around a bit, but I'm at a point now where I'm up $100, right? I'm in the green, $100, and I'm going to leave soon. So I'm like, all right, let me just bet this next hand just that $100. So if I win, I've done it. And if I lose, I still haven't spent any money here. And I freaking lose.
Oh,
And I'm like, okay.
damn.
Still haven't spent any money in the casino. So I cash out and I'm about to leave, but I'm like, this is really not a good story to say that I'm going to try and win $200 and then I leave without having lost or won any personally. So then I walk, so then I walk straight to the roulette table, and I don't even look at what numbers have come up. I just go, boom, $200 on black. That way I will for sure know right now if I've upgraded for free or if this room is now costing me $400. But to my luck, I won, baby.
Yeah.
I won.
Victory.
It landed on black, and I, oh man.
Now that's
It
a
was the best.
story.
It was the best fucking feeling. And
Wow.
then I go
love
back
it.
to the hotel, pay for this upgrade for free, and it's all good. And I captured my reaction and stuff coming out of the casino, and that was awesome. So I got this upgraded room. It's free. Cool. And now I have this story. It was really fun. And then I'm just looking at what else I wrote. And then, yeah, so I do this trade show gig, fun gig. I forget what it's like doing a trade show, in that everything else other than magic really isn't very good at drawing attention to a booth. So as soon as I started performing, I put up a few photos on my socials that people can find. But yeah, the crowd just drew straight in. It was piece of cake. It was good fun. That felt like it flew by. And then the other thing that's also in the vlog is I met up with my friend Adam Axford, who we've had on the podcast, and actually has his book launch today. He put out a book called Riddle and Rhyme, which he gifted me.
What are you
Here it
doing at the trade show? Are you
Riddle and
promoting
Rhyme.
a product? You trying to get leads for your client? just entertaining the aisle? What's your role there?
Yeah, so this event was basically a tech event, and like in the software space, and this was the networking part of the night, where just everyone it's very typical that it happens on the first night, and so everyone walks around with drinks and stuff, and they just talk to all the different all the exhibitors. So it was that kind of environment. It was basically like a cocktail party, but you're just kind of staying within the exhibitor. So they just basically wanted to build brand, I guess.
So there's no hard sells going on in your environment right there.
No, like a few taglines with magic and a few moments of getting people to chant like the brand.
Sure.
But that was basically it. Like, they were capturing people's, on everyone's lanyard, they had like a QR code or something. So people were people were entering these draws that they'll do giveaways, but it was mainly just branding. They just wanted everyone to see everyone at their stand, I think.
What about getting your merch into that giveaway? You ever do that deal where you're like, I provide magic giveaways for you, and then you double dip?
That's pretty cool. I don't know that it would be appropriate with this trade show, like, because they've obviously paid a ton of money to have their stand there and things like that. So I probably couldn't get my stuff in there, but
I don't know, man.
It's a cool idea. I mean, the good thing is this client has also booked me to now go back to Sydney at the end of this month and facilitate a whole day conference for them. So it's definitely worked out in my favor, like me doing that and being there and all that stuff. But I don't have any merch anyway to sell. So I guess I don't have to worry.
Well, the idea you would sell them on a branded giveaway for their company, something that their customer takes away that does magic or is magic related, maybe something they take home to their kids. They're always trying to get these things in people's hands with their brand on it,
Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, they were giving out these, they made these little superhero Legos that were branded to their company.
See? There, that should be a magic trick. Here, take this home, show your kid the trick.
Yeah, so people got to take these home with them. So this has like their logo on it and stuff.
Yeah.
So they would give these away as little tokens. But and I was able to have like a playing card like held in it and things like that. Just messing around. But just quickly, so I caught up with Adam, and in the vlog, you see him talk about his book. And so he gave me this one.
Yeah, what is that? What is that?
Yeah, so it's 52 riddles. It's like a coffee table book. Lots of riddles, but only the riddles are in here. If you want to get the answers, you have to scan a QR code and go to a site if you want to actually find out the answers without figuring it out yourself. And then he's put in some cool little tidbits for magicians. Like, for example, on page 27, if it will come up, on the other side, there's also a playing card that comes up, which is the two of clubs. And so that happens on every page, which magicians will kind of get out of a book with 52 pages on it, what that can kind of represent.
Is that also a book test?
You could probably use it as a book test. Yeah, I mean, his plan is to use this in his shows and it be his actual book,
Does that have Svengali properties?
No, this doesn't, no. Like, it's mainly because he's more of he loves to write and he loves to create rhymes and rhyming patter in his shows, but this is just something that he loves. Okay. So if I can show one, for example, this might be too bright. But so he writes these himself, all of these riddles. And anyway, you guys should check it out. AdamAxford.com, I'm pretty sure is his website. But yeah, it was cool to catch up with him, see what he's doing. He's sort of taking different routes in magic and trying different things. And because he's the guy also in Australia that really cleaned up with Zoom shows when they happened. He pivoted so well and so quick that it's insane. Like, yeah, he was telling me a little bit about it, like the financial side, and it was just ridiculous. All right. I
Coulda,
think
woulda,
we all
shoulda.
want to look. We're at 25 minutes. I think we all want to get into the thumbnail of this episode and why you guys tuned in today.
Oh, that's not true.
And so, first of all, how long were you at the Louisiana State Fair? Because you were gone for a while, and I've never heard of fairs going for longer than a weekend.
Yeah, so there was 3 weekends. I arrived on a Tuesday beforehand. So I did Wednesday to, I don't know, 20 days, something like that. Something like that.
That's crazy.
And I was not in a $200 a night hotel room. I was at Sam's Town. That's right. Sam's Town.
Okay. What does Sam's Town mean? Is that like a...
It's one of the Boyd properties, which if you look up the casino properties, we have like Caesars, Harrah's and the Wynn, Mirage. And then there's Boyd is down here a little bit. It's down there a little bit. And apparently Shreveport was a thriving casino community. There's like on the riverfront, 4 or 5 major, they have like Margaritaville, Bally's, Boomtown, and Sam's Town, which was one of the original casinos, and I'm sure was quite the to-do in the day.
Okay. In the day, keyword.
In this day and age, I would hazard a guess that at least during the weekdays, and I was there every day, and I saw it every day, the weekdays, probably the homeless outnumber the guests at the hotel across the street. So,
right.
So, but this is
a little concerning.
Yeah, Yeah, to the point where it's like when I'm walking out of the hotel, I'm bringing the care package with me because I know someone's going to ask me for something. And I'm like, here's something. Here's some bananas and some cereal bars and some water.
And a Svengali.
God bless the wonderful people who booked me. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. And this fair has been a heyday of an event, but it's not currently that. So let's start there. It's been a challenging couple of weeks going into Shreveport away from home for the first time in years, right? This is coming out of COVID for me. I haven't had an extended contract. So let's double down on the challenge as I leave my comfort of this magic cave and my best friend and wife, who I love dearly, and tromp off to Shreveport, unknown parts.
So you went solo to this?
Yeah, she drove me up there and we said goodbye. And it's the first time we've been apart since we got married, and before that for years. So
wow. And how long was the drive?
It's about 5 hours.
Okay. All right, I'm with you.
Far enough where it's, you're not making this drive just for fun.
Yep. Okay, so you get there, you're like, yeah, great. Gonna do magic at the State Fair. Wicked.
Day one, I get the new guy. I realized the new guy gets the news spot. So I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to go out to do the news. And hey, we're at the fair. The magician's going to be here, Doug Kahn. And it's like 45 degrees that day. First cold day we've had in Louisiana since summer. It's like I'm out there trying to not freeze. 45's chilly.
Yikes.
So that's how it all started. And I did my thing on the news.
Were you getting
the weather was
recognized
bad on the first weekend, so it didn't get off to a good start, and I don't feel like it improved greatly from there.
Good. All uphill. Did you get recognized much from your content?
A lot. A bunch.
Okay. That's cool.
Yes.
That's got to feel nice.
Very, very much so. I guess, let me say this. If there was an interesting perspective, it's that I was expecting to go into an environment where, unlike street performing, I was expecting an audience that was going to be super receptive to what I had to offer. In the street, and particularly New Orleans, quite often you have to clamor for every moment of attention, takes every power in the toolkit to keep people watching you. So I was looking forward to going to the fair where this wouldn't be a problem and I could just have lollygaggers enjoying my art. It turned out to be quite challenging, even more so than what I'm used to. And I'm sure part of this is my skill set being weak and fighting some of the environment, the weather. I'm out there when it wasn't cold. And this was most of the time, it was an 87-degree temperature and no shade. I fought to find shade constantly. So the weather was a challenge. And here I am whining about, getting to do the best job in the world, magic tricks. And I did my job and I made smiles and it was magical most of the time, but it was hard work. Whew.
You did a really good job with capturing what looked like, the essence of the fair with your 360. At least if anything, you got to really put that into practice and use that a ton, right?
So I did have growing moments. I would say just the process of doing this was a growing thing, and doing the content on the road. I expected it to be stronger content, but I did what I could and I tried. I think as long as you keep trying, especially when you're doing what I'm doing and trying to eke out a living producing media for the internet, maybe there's not an option. I would like this to be my job. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to try harder. Oh, here we go. There's a great question. Scotty P. Let's answer this question. How'd you go with selling those decks?
I brought them to the fair.
So let's take a look at this. I'll show y'all. This is what a case of unopened Svengali decks looks like. 144 of them.
Yeah.
This is one of two that I brought with me. The other one's over half empty, but man, failure. I am not a pitchman. There was probably the opportunity to sell these things. I wasn't the guy to do it. So
and why was
horrible,
that?
To answer your question.
And was that just because you were just kind of exhausted after the day, or like throughout the day you just... Because I know what it's like when I have the intention of filming like a show and a gig and stuff, and then as soon as any stress or any time restraints get in the way, it's the first thing to go. I'm like, no, I just got to do the thing that I'm here to do. Is that a similar vibe with the Svengalis? Like you just kind of... It sounds like you had to work hard to get these crowds and stuff, so you just focused on that and you're like, yeah, I don't have time to try and sell these decks at the same time.
Yeah, I continued to try to sell them. Impossible at $10 a deck, and I just, eventually stopped trying. And when people were generous to me, I gave them away is what I did. So I did have some generous tips and I had some really quality experiences there. I don't want to just crap on my whole thing. And like I said, there were some great moments. And let me tell you, the last couple of days there, the weather was a little chilly. We had a cold front and the crowds were out. They had like Veterans Day where veterans got in free. And so it was a robust crowd, and it was thrilling to be in this environment. And but at this point I had fought the battle and I was, ready to go home. And when it could have shined the brightest, I was just ready to collect my pay and leave. And I did that as promptly as possible that Sunday. It's about 4 p.m. where I had another night at the Sam's Town. Could have enjoyed the casino with my wife and gambled, and we loved doing that. We didn't at all. We just went home that evening.
I think, and Nick, I think we talked about this, but did you do this at all, Doug? Nick said,
yeah,
why don't you put it in your hat line?
That was the original idea. Mm-hmm. And I thought I would probably just do that on weekends and keep it at 10 the rest of the time. 10 was too much. Here, let me speak on this briefly, and that's that much like the streets of New Orleans, everyone at the fair wants your dollar, right? Everybody, the corn dog guy, the ticket guy, it's $1 to go see the reptile show. The sea lion guy wants $15 for the picture. There's the vendor hall where they have all the demonstrators. They all want your money. Everybody wants your money. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So you see the guy with his hat out and he's got decks out. Well, he wants your money too. Maybe we don't spend as much time with him. So And knowing that these vendors are here, I had to tread lightly because I was told I could sell anything, but then I'm set up in front of a guy selling shirts behind me. Am I going to go into full pitch mode? I'm not, because I am a professional and I know this guy is paid $1,000 to be here. So I also had to not do, full on pitch.
Yeah.
At least that was my choice.
Yeah, right.
So eventually I just eliminated it from my mindset, didn't have to worry about it. And I know that I have options. I know I'm one of my best friends is one of the best Svengali pitchmen on this planet. We're going to go sell these decks and I'm going to film it. You can see what that looks like when a professional goes to work. I'll tell my sad story in a vlog. And you can see Warpo. You can see Warpo sell decks. He knows what he's doing.
All right, I'm keen. I mean,
yeah.
If nothing else, you got great content from being there. So that's
I'm gonna win somehow,
currency.
but I still have to pay Murphy's $1,200 for these things. Damn it!
I mean, the other thing about fairs is like you go there knowing you're spending money. Like it's not like a surprise to people.
Yeah.
Like we have a fair here that is even just to get in is expensive. It's like, I don't even know what the echo is, guys, that are in the chat, but it's like $50 or something, or $40.
This is where I'm saying, like the weekends I experienced last weekend where families were paying that to get in, or it was a family vetted audience, literally with veterans, great. But on weekdays, it's school groups with 3 and 4 year olds. And also it's free parking and free admission before 3 p.m. So they're trying to attract an audience early in the day. And they're offering gratis. Come on in. It's free to park. It's free to get in. Yeah. And who is coming to that show? The people that can't afford the ticket. And now what? And this is in a city that has seen better days. Like many great cities in this country, Shreveport's not doing well, right? So, we had fun. We didn't make a lot of money, but we had fun. And it was challenging sometimes to have fun, but I can't imagine anyone has anything bad to say about the time they spent with me.
You don't have to, obviously we're not talking numbers, but like if you weren't to get tips from people, was it from what they paid you to be there? Was it still, would that have still, sort of covered things and been worth you being there? Or was it like quite heavily reliant on? I think
it's a pretty good gig for someone that doesn't have their mindset to be doing much bigger things.
Okay.
My mindset's like, let's go to the moon. And instead I was at Sam's Town for 3 weeks and I couldn't even it was not the moon. I tried to think about the moon while I was there. I just couldn't even do anything about it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Thanks, Scotty. Yeah, the echo we have here at our showgrounds is $50 an adult to get in. And then you pay for all your rides. You pay for every show bag you want. But they do have certain shows they have a massive grand show in a stadium that is free, like fireworks and monster trucks and things like that, flying pigs.
Let me speak about the positives of the State Fair of Louisiana, because when you do pay to get in, you get a full-on circus. Like that's usually a big tent circus. It was out in the open. They started doing it that way for COVID. It's beautiful. They have a full bike show, BMX bikes. They have a zoo. They have a sea lion show. An array of midway performers like yours truly, clowns, robots, my good friends Arson the breakdancer, and Dallas the fire guy, and Nick Steinbeck who does the escape and other amazing things. So you get a pretty good value, right, for coming in this beautiful fair.
Yeah.
But it's super expensive after that. Like
I think out of all that, I'm surprised to hear you're friends with a breakdancer, because I've always thought breakdancers and magicians would battle.
Always have.
On the street.
I never imagined I'd befriend one. This man is a shining light. I was super happy to meet Arson. Awesome.
I enjoyed that clip. Yeah.
Man, his show I bet you would. Yeah. His show has just nothing but good energy and positive vibes. He's really empowering a child in this show. And giving an audience a chance to reflect on humanity. And none of the quite often bluntly racism humor that is found in a breakdance show, at least in America, it's, you know, I don't say race, it's racist, but they use
race jokes on themselves
over and over and over. And,
Yeah.
you know, they get white guys up to dance and they're like, come on, white guys, get with the rhythm. And it's, you know, I'm all fun with that, but, you know, don't make your whole show about it. But what about a show that doesn't have any of that? Because it doesn't need it. You know, you can do a great hip hop show and just make it super positive. And,
just
you know,
good shit. My favorite breakdance show was at Universal Studios in Singapore, because they're some of the elite breakdancers, and they're just there to do cool routines and look like superheroes, and then, you know, people want to get photos with them afterwards. And that was like the best show I'd seen. They had people from different countries, like as the crew that were there. That was the best one I'd ever seen, because they were all like top tier. They didn't have, obviously they're not busking either, so they don't have to spend 20 minutes trying to build a crowd and get people clapping and whatever. They can just make some noise and then just get into it.
Hey, and he's also doing a solo show. While he does work with other people more often than not, this was a one-man dance experience.
That's cool too.
Well done. Yeah.
And even better, because then you're not splitting your tips between 10 people, which has got to be a struggle.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder you got to go hard at it when, it's for like 8, 10, 12 people sometimes. Tigger T asked you, Doug, who is the most interesting person you've met at a fair?
This shirt, I met a guy. I'm sitting there. I'd done my thing. I'm sitting there. This guy comes up to me, and I'd performed magic for this guy the day before. Gruff individual. He was in the same clothes. He sits down next to me wearing workman's clothes, but a little thing peeks out and it says Carney Life on it. He was giving me compliments after being gruff on day one. He says, I like your approach, man. You do this with respect. You do good work out here. I'm like, oh, what's your story? Yeah, I'm Cowboy. Hey, Cowboy. And you working the midway here? Yeah, I'm working. How long you been working the midway? He tells me this. I've been 51 years.
What? Working the fair?
I said, you don't look that old. And he said, I was born on the midway. Whoa.
Holy crap.
I was born on the midway. Some of these guys that stay in these campers where there's like 8, there's normally one person lives in these camper, but there's like 8 cabins and there's a couple of them in there in each one. These hardcore carny guys.
Whoa.
They're not smiling too much, but I like this shirt though. I got a couple things from this guy.
So he's just part of like a carny family. Like it's just, that's what
he does. Very much like that. You know, like the circus also runs the reptile show, and we're parking behind the scenes and getting to meet all these people, you know, and then the robot guy, super interesting. Did you see the robot clip I posted with this guy? He's like 8 foot tall.
It looked like a transformer, I think.
Yeah. He's like, his eyebrows, his mouth moves, his fingers all move. He drives around on a scooter. He changes his music, and it's amazing. And he gets paid very well for it, as he should. It was one of the best things at the fair as far as ambient entertainment goes. Rocket, good guy. He 3D prints his own stuff. Bob, you would love this guy, Bob Possible. He does carbon fiber 3D printing. He constructed his own conveyor belt to 3D print these robot parts to construct his very unique performance piece. Love this guy.
Wow.
Yeah. Rocket.
That's crazy.
So he was probably the most interesting. Yeah. There's your answer, Tigger. That guy.
Damn. I'll have to look again at that content now that I know that backstory a little bit more. The other thing I was thinking about too is like the carny life, you know, we might think of it as like a surprise, like, whoa, you like, that's what you do. And, you know, I think what they've done though, is they've been able to like, when you do something like that or join the circus, travel with the circus, you escape the matrix that is like the 9-to-5 job, right? Like you sort of get to do things on your terms and
very much so. Like these
happy.
people have been on the road. This was the end of their season, which has been going since April. They've been on the road literally doing this for months on end. I was watching the animal show. It's interesting, and maybe more so to people in this country. They took a time out of their show, which I thought was totally inappropriate, but I'll tell this story because it could be important to people of kindred spirits that animal acts are on the verge of being prohibited in this country of moving out of state. So in the middle of this circus animal show, they were like, we'd love to show you our tigers. We'd love to show you our monkeys, but your state will not let us bring our animals into this arena. And if you do not like this, let me tell you about the Lacey Act, which is threatening us from taking our show out of our state at all. Took about 5 minutes for them to talk about this political bit, which at a fair and you got an audience of children, this is not, in my opinion, what you want your animal show to have. Do whatever you can with whatever animals you have. They had camels. It was a good show.
I mean, no circus in Australia has animals anymore. You know, there's no elephants, lions.
Hey, I get it. It's sign of the times. And maybe you got to keep your animals at home. But don't tell your audience that at that time. Boo.
Yeah. It's like magicians.
Coronas.
It's like magicians not working with doves anymore. Like no one does dove acts in Australia for corporate audiences, at least. Some kid shows. But because adults just feel, everyone's woke and we know the deal. That, everyone's just like, oh, how is it treated? And this and that. So
I'm going the other direction.
Yeah.
No, I am. Everyone's going left. I'm going right with the doves.
You're going to bring it back into your lives?
Baby.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. That's right.
That's what I'm talking about. Do I have I think I have a dove sound.
There we go. I brought this prop with me to break it in. I didn't take it out of the box one time. I was so uninspired.
Yep. Fold him back up.
You would think I could have fun with the rubber dove. I could at least bust it out and do $40 worth of entertainment, at least get the tax write-off.
Yeah.
Technically, I just did. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, now it is documented.
Yeah. Thank you, internet.
And you got to pack some feathers in them, like my buddy Joel Fenton. So when you kick it, all the feathers fly out as well.
I was planning on being creative with it. Didn't happen. I know the gags. I could do any of the gags.
Yeah. Have you used one in any of your reels yet?
No.
So this is new content then. This will be new content.
It's piling up. I have tons of new content piling up around me. A lot of latex things, especially.
Yep. So how have you been feeling about the old online content lately?
Horrible.
Whether it's yours
horrible.
or
That's how I feel horrible about it.
Okay. I'm sensing a theme here, Doug.
Yes.
Doug needs a holiday.
I do. And guess what? I'm going to be taking one, a very long one in December, by necessity and design. So we better have episode 100 before early December, because there's a good chance you guys don't see me for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Towards the end of December.
I'm thinking what might be needed, which is very common with podcasts, is you take the end of the year off and you come back like in February or something, once you've lined up guests and stuff for the next year. That could be very possible, because I know I've got so much work on from now till like Christmas is pretty bananas. Like I'll be gigging after today. I'll be gigging every day for the rest of the week. There's one week where it's just like insane, and that'll be challenging even for me to get on the pod, let alone Jason being with the CIA or whatever, and you having your holiday, and
as it should be.
Yeah, but we can definitely get to at least 100, the episode 100, because we're only 2 away from that, so that's got to happen.
What if we didn't? What if we just did 99 and left everyone hanging?
Well, I mean, Logan Paul did 99 originals. his NFT project. So 99 is not so bad.
I was happy to see him on the WWE last weekend.
Yeah.
Hey, Tigger, look, I'm good. The only thing about me not being okay is if I wasn't self-aware to know when things need to change. I'm good, and change is challenging, and it's coming for me in more ways than one.
Yeah.
And tonight I'm just venting a bit. I've been stuck in a hotel room for a few weeks and haven't talked to anyone aside from my wife. She's heard about it. And there's been great positive things. I'm super inspired to be a better magician right now. I'm like so inspired to be a better me. Like if there's anything that went wrong that was my fault over the last few weeks, first of all, apologies to those who booked me. And second of all, look out, y'all. Because I'm going to be a much better me in 2023. You'll see.
Yeah.
I'm inspired to do better.
Do you have any particular plans for 23 that you've?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Over?
Yes. Two things. On YouTube, I'm going to explain everything I know about sleight of hand magic.
Okay.
So that's going to happen. And I'm also going to develop my 45-minute show over the course of that year. So those two things. Yeah.
Let's go. That's awesome, man.
Those are good goals, right?
Totally.
What about you for 2023? You lining up some stuff?
Well, one thing is I'm ready to head back to Magic Live. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
That's going to be in August next year. I've not gone to it for long enough now, so that I can't wait to freaking finally head to. And then I can see hopefully Blaine's show still running at in Vegas, and Ozzy wins Inner Circle. I just saw that just got extended till February, but in a perfect world that would still be going by the time Magic Live happens.
I'm doing Convention Mania next year. I've got 4 on the books already, including the Society of American Magicians. Super excited about that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Also, the Texas Association of Magicians. That's a great convention. So
yeah, I can see. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And why wouldn't people want to get you on board? Not only do you do good shit, but obviously you would be somewhat of a draw card because you've got a lot of eyeballs on you at the same time.
Makes sense to me.
Makes sense to
me. I'm still available for bookings. Magic Live. Are you listening,
Yeah.
Magic Live? I'm available.
How many, when people saw you at the fair, because the cool thing about that is that people who recognize you, like, at least you get to be more open to like, oh, these are actual humans watching. Like these numbers are like people like this, like watching my stuff.
Love it.
It's not just all numbers and digits and algorithms, that's got to be cool. Did you get a lot of people want to take the selfie with you, or?
An adequate amount. And, sensing genuine enthusiasm from people is just cool, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, Nick, I'm with you, bro.
Happy to have that in my life.
Yeah, that's got to be a good feeling. Nick, yeah, hell yeah. Nick's keen for Magic Live as well. We were both there the same year, 2018, I think it was. Yeah,
Tell you listeners, if you're in the States, the best chance to see me probably is at the Gator Gate gathering in January, where I will just be attending the convention. It's in Orlando. It's a small event. It's not overpopulated. There'll be some cool guys there, and I'll be there just hanging out. So that's it. In Orlando, the Gator Gate Gathering. They have a website. If you need more information, use Google. Come on. It's the 2022. Just find it.
I hadn't even heard of that. That just sounds nice.
I haven't gone to just hang at a convention in a long time. And then we're also going to go do Universal, go see Harry Potter World and such.
Cool.
So
that'll just be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go be a tourist.
How far is Vegas from you? Is it a few flights?
So we can do it from New Orleans. It's a 2-hour flight maybe, but it's far. But our airports go there, all the
Piece
time.
of cake. Yeah.
It is a piece of cake. We're looking to go. Garth Brooks is starting a residency at Caesars, and we're trying to line up our anniversary to see his show. Love Garth Brooks. Would love to see him at a resort in Caesar's Palace. Sounds like fun.
Does your anniversary happen to be in August?
No, it's in June.
God damn it.
But look,
All right.
I am going to manifest Magic Live, and I'm going to manifest huge success next year where I can do whatever I want no matter what happens.
Yes.
And I want to go to Magic Live, so I hope to see you there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can see us drinking whiskey, playing some of the tables there maybe, and just
we'll go put our whole roll on
relaxing.
black and just do that thing.
Hey, it works. That's got to be one of the funniest sights, is because when you come down the escalator down from the convention, there's like the main bar that everyone hangs out at, that magicians even turn up to that aren't registered for the convention because
Sure.
it's just in the casino.
Sure.
And then the main strip of tables are blackjack. And so you'll come down and just see 80 magicians all playing blackjack. And David Penn was just there playing, and
They should know better.
all these guys. And the funny thing with the New Orleans casino is you can play blackjack, but they let you hold the 2 cards, which for me is so weird because
that's ludicrous.
you can never touch them. So all I couldn't help but doing was just bottom palming the bottom card, not to do anything, but just because I could, it's.
I'd be
That was
surprised if they're still
really
doing that in this day and age, letting you handle the cards like that, especially after COVID.
Yeah, I mean, and especially them knowing there were like 18.
I've seen games like that, right? But they shuffle after every other hand or something like that. There's a lot of shuffling going on.
Yeah,
It's a snooze fest.
It was all manual shuffling.
Yeah.
But when there's 1,800 magicians in the casino, wouldn't you take some kind of other measures to protect your games? I don't know. Maybe they don't care that much.
They don't care. Come on, fellas. You think you know something? Come on. Play a little blackjack.
Yeah. I mean, Bob, you say I'm going to get kicked out quickly, but that is what I was doing. When I went last time, I played blackjack, and I was just bottom palming the card, but I wasn't going under the table or whatever. I was just mucking around in my hand. No one cared. I didn't get kicked out. If anything, I'm always doing muscle passes and manipulation with the poker chips, but that just gets the attention of the dealer in a fun way. Like the tables, they're like, "What? Do it again!" And it's just a fun.
I often do magic with
Novelty.
chips at the table. It comes up. What do you do for a living? I'm a magician. I'll do chip tricks and vanishes, and I've even done the Matrix with poker chips there at a table.
That's awesome. It's only if you start loading chips on after a win or whatever.
Yeah, well,
palming them
right
as
off
you
the
reach.
bat, you're
That's
going to be
when-
under the radar after that.
Yeah. You know what actually happened when I was playing blackjack at this casino? They must put their new dealers or their newer dealers on during the day, and because this was only a $10 table, and more. I reckon this happened at least 3 times, where if you hit blackjack, I was playing. They call it blackjack challenge. So the rules are just a little bit different. But if you get blackjack on just your first 2 cards, you win double. So if I put down $10, they would give me $20 back. And I would take the winnings and I would leave my original bet there. And he would keep playing the round. So he'll pay that out straight away. And then he'd play the actual game. And when he's cashing people out for their wins, he would come back to mine and go, "Oh, you hit blackjack. You've got $10, so I need to give you $20. And so he basically paid me twice. This idiot.
Look, this is one of the more prevalent ways that gamblers make a living. They find dealers that make mistakes, and the professionals will be back to that dealer's table over and over again, knowing that she makes errors or whatever,
Yeah. You can't just assume it was a she. It was a dude.
But what if it was a she as a he? Come on,
Well,
Josh. Don't be narrow-minded.
That's very possible. Very possible. But yeah, it happened like 3 times. And I mean, I
Love
ended
it.
up giving that whole $100 back at the end. So maybe, who really is the winner, but
Yeah, well, at
crazy.
least you tried.
Crazy. But yeah, next year, look, I've had a good year this year. I'm looking forward to doing more shows with the Showman Theatre Tour. We have,
Oh, this is good to hear.
yeah, all of January is basically booked up doing shows for them, like the sort
Love
of
it.
Thursday to Sunday dates.
This has
Which-
got to be the ideal thing, right? A theater
Yeah.
show.
For sure. Because normally, as you know, like for someone who's doing booked gigs for a living, January is dead most of the time. So to have a schedule already for theaters in January is
So
insane.
you're working with smart people, Josh. Of course, they're booking the dead time, right?
That's right.
Yeah, they know what
Yeah.
they're doing.
Except for poor Joel Fenton. Joel is like he's like the known circus artist here in Australia. His Instagram handle is Stuntman Joel. And for him, January is actually like one of his biggest earning months for busking on the Gold Coast, like pure tourist.
Yeah. Okay.
area.
Right.
So he's the only one that's
Right.
he's like, well, he's not going to do all the dates. He's going to switch in with, I think some other.
I
another guy
love
or
that
something, but
the street can provide so well, and people can make that choice to be like, I'd love to, but I'm just going to go express myself freely and do better.
yeah, that is pretty awesome. But yeah,
As
And
I talk
so-
about developing my 45-minute show in 2023, I'm very interested in being inside where people pay tickets to come see me.
yeah,
Moving on.
right. Yeah.
Not in 87-degree temperature. As I said, we learn things at the fair.
Well, yeah, the heat is not good for anyone. Right now, it's the hottest part of our year.
Yeah.
So the daytime gigs that I'm doing, I'm just rocking a vest and just breathing a lot, taking, my time, get through it. But yeah, the theater
and the gig's
show
fine.
and-
Like I got no problem going to do sets like that. It's, maybe weeks of it on end where we have different goals moving
Right.
forward.
yeah, and you're in the pure sun, and yeah, you want to be doing
Yeah.
other things.
Not a spring chicken anymore either. Like I need to be out there baking in the sun. Baking the bacon. All right. Look,
I'm
now
with
it's overtime. Here we are. Let's wrap this shindig up.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
And I feel like I pressed the wrong one. Have I pressed the wrong one? Yeah, I pressed the wrong one, guys. That was just for you.
Arrivederci, compadres.
Let's try again. Yes.
Thanks for listening. It's time for us to disappear now. But we'll see you again on the next episode of The Magic Guys.